Live on the radio. We're also live video streaming tonight's matches as we are ready to go. They are in the center circle, and we're off and going. We start at 220 pounds. Kiefer Anderson representing Broken Bow, and Mason Newland representing North Platte High. And to call the match for you, here's Kirk.
All right, here we go. We're underway. Kiefer Anderson, Broken Bow Jr. He's 3-1 on the year, wrestling Mason Newland, a senior from North Platte St. Pat's. There's a high crotch shot by Anderson, a nice shot, gets a good lift, returns Newland to the mat, but he gets his 2-point takedown. Mr. Skiles awards the 2-point right along the edge. And it's a 2-point lead for Kiefer Anderson. Kiefer Anderson, a Broken Bow, 2-time state qualifier for the Indians. Getting things started here in tonight's duel. Kiefer riding tough and trying to work a cradle. He's got the legs hooked. Not able to quite get a finish. There's the roll. Nice roll by Mason Newland. He's able to get around, and he gets the reversal. Has a leg in. Scrambling up on top of the power half. Our score is 2-2 now. Coming down to about a minute to go here in the first period. And Newland now has a right-hand half in on Anderson, and he's driving Anderson over. Anderson in a lot of trouble here along the edge. Newland reverses the half, and there's the fall. Mason Newland to North Platte able to get the half in, drive Kiefer Anderson over, and in a minute of 4 seconds, the senior from North Platte, Mason Newland, starts things off for the Platters with a win and a 6-point team lead.
So Mason Newland wins by fall in our first match of the night, coming at 220 pounds as he's able to defeat Kiefer Anderson of Broken Bow to start things here tonight. Again, Brent Apperson, Kurt Crowley here with you as we get ready now to go to 285 pounds. Tyler Thomas will be representing Broken Bow on the varsity level here tonight. You know, we talk to Coach Safe, Kirk, all the time about the competition in the room in the Broken Bow Wrestling program. Well, a good example of it is at 285. Sawyer Bumgarner actually won the Bow Invite last weekend, but head-to-head in the round-robin format, Tyler Thomas defeated Sawyer Bumgarner. So because of that, Tyler wrestling varsity tonight, and this should be another good match coming up as he takes on the senior Jacob Kohler of North Platte.
Yes, and we saw Bumgarner in a pretty good match, in a JV match earlier, win over the JV North Platte heavyweights. So I look for this to be a pretty decent match with Kohler, the senior. No record on the year. Tyler Thomas, 3-1, as Brent said. And there's a headlock by Kohler, but Thomas able to counter, come out the back door. He's got his takedown. There's a big lift by Tyler. Gets Kohler to the mat. And that is a big guy that you're lifting, and he lifted it again just in case you didn't think he could do it twice. But we're off the mat, and it's a 2-0 lead for Tyler Thomas, the junior for Broken Bow. And as you said, Brent, that wrestling room, I'm sure they give Sawyer and Tyler plenty of room to roll around. I'm sure the fur flies pretty good out there. All right, here Thomas comes up, tacks the head a little bit. Kohler sits out. Thomas up high on the head. Kohler now flattened out on his stomach. Tyler trying to get that wrist on the far side. Not quite able to do it. Riding pretty high here. A lot of pressure forward, though, so he's able to occupy Kohler's hands. Kohler flattened back out. Now tries to control Thomas's wrist. Tyler with the ride. Coming down to about a minute to go in the first period. Broken Bow's Tyler Thomas, 285-pounder, leads 2-0. Tyler tries to put in the right-hand half, and Kohler wings that down. Comes around. We'll see if Thomas is able to keep his position, and he does. Good scramble by the big guy, Tyler Thomas, coming around. Keeps his position, doesn't give up any points. Right along the edge of the mat. Again, Kohler reaches back, takes the head of Thomas. Thomas just goes to the other side. Now Kohler potted up. Thomas returns into his hip. We're off the edge of the mat. And Tyler Thomas still in that top advantage position with the 2-0 lead. 31 seconds to go here in the first period. Broken Bow's Tyler Thomas here in the second match of the duel, leading 2-0. North Platte able to get a fall in that first match. Kiefer Anderson of Broken Bow losing by fall to Mason Newland. So Broken Bow looking for a fall, trying to even things up, trying to get on the board. And Kohler trying to come up on top. Thomas forces himself in. We'll see if Tyler can get him to his back, and he does. Tyler gets him to his back. Now he needs to come and attack the head. Points are being scored here. Mr. Skiles is holding 2 near fall. Kohler does a good job of rolling through. There's your 2-point near fall. So Thomas extends his lead 4-0, and that's the end of the first period. So a takedown and a near fall for the junior, Tyler Thomas, a broken bow. And he takes a 4-0 lead as we go in to the second period. Choice goes to North Platte. Jacob Kohler looks over. I believe he defers, and Tyler takes down. So Tyler Thomas, a broken bow. That white broken bow singlet, the Indian head on the back. He's set. Kohler mounts up, and this will be the first time we've seen Jacob Kohler on top. A lot of pressure out front, comes around out front. Thomas comes up. Kohler wants to throw the head, and Thomas shrugs that off. He gets on top, gets his reversal, and then with a little howdy-do with the old forearm to the back of the head, introduces himself. Kohler's trying to post a hand, and he rolls through and gets halfway through. And I don't know if Kohler's going to survive this. Thomas is picking up back points, and there's the fall. There's the fall for broken bows, Tyler Thomas. So Tyler Thomas and broken bow evens up the team score at 6 apiece.
And we'll take a quick break before the next match. Back in 30 seconds.
There's no reason to struggle with your shopping list, especially when you have a sports fan or athlete to shop for, and Geared for Sports is there for you. Right now, save 20% off sports equipment and 15% off regular priced apparel. Geared for Sports has Husker wear, fan gear, and a great selection of awesome Under Armour. Plus, with convenient hours, you can head in and shop when you have time. Monday to Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturday, 10 to 4, plus Sunday, noon to 4 through Christmas. Geared for Sports, west side of the square in Broken Bow.
And we bring it back to North Platte High School. Broken Bow gets the walkover at 106, so that's going to put them ahead 12-6 in the team score of this duel as we get ready now to go to 113 pounds. Brent Apperson, Kurt Crowley here with you tonight. Great to have you aboard. Don't forget, we're also live streaming tonight's matches for you on our Facebook page at Sandhills Express and also on the website sandhillsexpress.com. Wilson Zinn on the mat for Broken Bow, 3-1 on the year, a sophomore, taking on Jace Kennel, a freshman of North Platte, and a call it at 113 pounds. Here's Kirk.
Matt, just underway. Wilson Zinn picked up a lot of experience last year. He is a good-looking wrestler, well-built. And he hadn't done a lot of wrestling, and he'd picked up a lot of experience, and he had a good week last week. As Brent said, 3-1 for the sophomore. No score in the match. Kennel sits out of the situation. The wrestlers come up and face each other. Wilson quick on his feet. No score in this match. We're 30 seconds into the bout. These are 113-pounders. Broken Bow leading on the team score, 12-6. Wrestlers on their knees right in that 10-foot circle. Kennel tries to come around. The freshman for North Platte. Bulldogs in that blue and gold. Broken Bow in their white singlet. The red trim on the right leg. Wrestlers right in the middle of the mat. Right under the spotlight. Wilson hasn't taken a true committed shot. There's a shot by Kennel. Comes in on a double leg. He's trying to step up and around the corner. Hasn't been able to score it yet. And there he returns Wilson and gets the 2-point takedown. So 2-point takedown, Jace Kennel, the freshman for North Platte. Wilson doing a good job. He pods up. Hasn't got his head up. Kennel runs him forward. Wilson trying to work hands underneath. Got his head down, though, and Kennel comes in with that left-hand half. And now he's trying to work a bar and a half. Tries to stretch him across his op a little bit. Wilson's going to have to get his head up here, and he does. He gets a hand off of his head, gets his head up underneath, peels hands, trying to face out. There's your 1-point escape. So Wilson's in a Broken Bow on the board with his one escape. Kennel of North Platte, the freshman, leading 2-1 over the sophomore Zinn of Broken Bow. And that's the end of your first period with that 2-1 lead for Kennel of North Platte. Mr. Skiles checking with the wrestlers. And Kennel goes down. Zinn deferred. He'll take his choice in the third period. So Jace Kennel down. There's your whistle. Wilson on top. Kennel comes up to his feet. Zinn returns him to the mat. Wrestler's right in the middle of the mat, right on the block. Trying to elevate that inside ankle pick. Zinn now moves to the right side. Slipping in that high half. A lot of pressure forward, though. A lot of pressure forward by Wilson. There's a sit out by Jace Kennel. Kennel now trying to peel hands, trying to score here. Wilson's going to have to dump him to the side, do something well. He reaches across the shoulder there. He brings that back. Now Wilson's going to have to hustle around the back. He does. Good movement by both wrestlers. There's a wing off of that half. And now Kennel forces back in, gets to his feet, peels hands. Wilson not able to hold on to that. Kennel faces out, gets his one. It's 3-1 now, the lead for North Platte's Kennel. There's a shot again by Kennel. Wilson not able to fend that off. Should be a 5-1 lead. Kennel of North Platte leading. And again, Wilson's got his head down on the mat. He's got his hips up. He's on his knees, but that head is down. 45 seconds to go here in the second period. It's a 5-1 lead for North Platte's Jace Kennel over Wilson Zinn of Broken Bow. Wilson's going to have to get himself back to a base and get those ears up off the mat, where he's going to find himself. There comes that left-hand half. Kennel trying to force in that half, and Wilson's trying to get back to his base. Kennel now hustles back around there. Good job by Wilson popping his hips up. Wilson again got his head on the mat. Mr. Skiles gives him the warning for stalling. We'll see if that gets him going a little bit. Now Kennel with a lot of pressure forward, potentially dangerous here. Trying to run a little hip lever. Potentially dangerous, so no points. We'll get a restart. Broken Bow's Wilson Zinn down 5-1. On the bottom, comes to his feet, and there, Wilson peeling hands. But Kennel takes him off the mat, and we'll get a restart with 11 seconds. Be a big score here if Wilson can score off the bottom in these 11 seconds as we're about ready to wind up the second period. Mr. Skiles says it was on him, so we'll get a restart. Now we got a caution. The caution goes to Kennel for Neil Legal's starting position. No points awarded. And there, Wilson pops up to his feet. He's up to his feet, but he can't get his head up. Can't get his hands off the mat. Kennel does a good job of pressuring forward. Now runs that inside leg in, and he's got that leg laced. And Kennel did a good job of finishing out that situation, Brent, as he forces Wilson to stay underneath and not score.
So we'll go to the third again in the duel. 3 matches in. This is our fourth. Broken Bow leading 12-6 in the duel score.
And we saw a change of strategy. Wilson, he's going to go neutral, but he's going to have to get busy. He hasn't been real busy on his feet here. Kennel's been able to get 2 double-leg takedowns during the match, so Wilson's going to have to change that up. Wilson went neutral, trying to score, and there's that double leg again, except this time Kennel gets a little bit long, does a good job of gathering up his knees. He's trying to come around the right side. We'll see. Oh, nice change of direction. Sits out, comes around, and picks up 2. That was really a nice job by Kennel, because his initial shot wasn't very good. He got flat underneath, was long, but he did a good job of gathering, came up, changed directions. And now Kennel gives up 1 to Wilson Zinn. So the Broken Bow wrestler gets the 1 escape. And now we'll go back to our feet. But Wilson's going to have to get busier here. He's tried to defend, and that hasn't worked for him. Kennel's had a good double leg shot, and he's shown that even if it gets stopped, he can finish it. Got a minute 10 to go here in the third period. It's a 7-2 lead for Jace Kennel. Jace Kennel of North Platte leading Broken Bow's Wilson Zinn at 113 pounds. There's that shot again. Kennel with that good shot, and why not? He gets a 2-point takedown. Man, when you can get that takedown, that changes the whole complexion of the match, because the other guys always having to play catch-up, and Kennel's been able to get in on that takedown. He leads 9-2 now over Broken Bow's Wilson Susel Zinn. Wilson not able to get himself to a base. Kennel's kind of just riding tough here. We're down to 35 seconds to go in the bout. It's a 9-2 lead. Wilson needs to score and not give up any more points because it's 9-2. You get down by 8, you're giving up another team point on the scoreboard. So right now the spread gives you 3 points for North Platte. One more point. Oh, nice snap, and there he dumps Wilson to his back. And that's a tough 2 points right there. It's 11-2, a 9-point spread, and that's good enough for bonus points here as we're coming down to 5 seconds. Kendall really did a good job there. Snapped him, covered him, got his 2, knew exactly where he was in the match. So Jace Kendall of North Platte, the freshman, with the 11-2 major decision over Wilson Zinn, and that scores 4 for North Platte on the team score.
And that maybe gives us a good opportunity, Kirk, to kind of lead into that scoring in the dual format. It's not just, whether you win or lose, it's how it happens when you start looking at the dual score, and that is a perfect example of it right there.
Yeah, you've got to, when you get into a dual format, you have got to cover your bases, and you can't, as matches start to change, you've got to keep an idea in your mind of where you're at team score-wise and what you can do for the team. And, if you can avoid getting pinned and you get decisioned by a better wrestler, you've saved yourself 3 points on the team score.
We'll take another short 30-second timeout. Next match coming up.
Cafe in Broken Bow would love to host you in their party room. It's a great option with plenty of space for spreading out and following the guidelines in place. The staff at the Tumbleweed Cafe thanks you for continuing to come to them for delicious home-style cooking, especially during all that the year 2020 has brought us. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The Tumbleweed Cafe. Visit them on East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
All right, so we move to our next match, which is at 120 pounds. Trey Holbert moving up for Broken Bow to wrestle here. And to call it for you, here's Kirk.
All right, Trey Hurlbert, actually a 13-pounder. He bounces up to 120. Carson Songster, the freshman for North Platte, wrestling. And Songster right now just scores a 2-point takedown right along the edge of the mat. Hurlbert's got to try to get his hip square, but we'll go off the mat. It's a 2-0 lead for Songster. And this is one of those cases, Brent, where we're talking about you got to think about where your team's at. Hurlbert, Trey, comes up from 113 pounds, helps cover base. Plus, that keeps North Platte honest from moving their lineup around. So he's helping the team by stepping on the mat here, and we'll see if he can get himself a win and get the team a win. It's a 2-0 lead. About 40 seconds into the bout. Hurlbert on the bottom. Sophomore for Broken Bow, 5-1 on the seasons. Had a good start to his season. Carson Songster, the freshman. There's a 1-point escape for Trey. So Broken Bow's Trey Hurlbert now trailing 2-1. Trey trying to keep the head covered with his hips. Songster flat and tries to gather. Hurlbert now has got to try to come around and score here. We're along the edge. Hurlbert's got the right hand in under, but Songster does a good job of gathering up his hips. Hurlbert now up on the head, trying to work a little chancery, but Songster comes underneath. Pressure comes off his head. Hurlbert puts a hip right in his ear, flattens him out, and here's a chance for Trey to come around and score. He hasn't scored yet. Songster really tough on that leg, and he's done a good job of gathering his hips. Flattens out again. Now here's a chance for Hurlbert. Coach Mr. Skiles says, okay, I think we've seen enough of this certain position. And he calls a stalemate, so we'll go back to our feet right along the edge of the mat there. Mr. Skiles, an official that's been around an awfully long time, does a great job. Never gets too excited, and he's always fun to watch and a great guy, great for wrestling. There's a shot for Carson Songster in on the leg. He's got that single leg. But he flattens out again. Hurlbert now gets his hips up. He covers. And again, Trey's in that spot. He's got the hands broke. If he can keep that hand from locking up, straighten out that right leg, get on his toes and hustle around, but he can't do it. Doesn't score. So we get out of one period with Songster of North Platte leading 2-1 over Broken Bow's Trayton Hurlbert. Songster defers. Hurlbert looks over. Everybody says, let's go down. Trayton says, I'll go down. So here we go. Trey Hurlbert of Broken Bow. He's set. Here comes Songster. He mounts up, and off we go. Wrestler's right in the middle of the mat. Hurlburt trying to gather up a leg. Songster coming around. Hurlburt reaching back a little bit. There, Songster cracks his hips, breaks him down. Trey's got to get himself squared up here. He doesn't want Songster to step through on a Turk. Trey gets his hips square. Songster's a little bit high on this position. We'll see if he likes to be there. There he does a good job again, running those hips, flatten Trey out. Trey needs to get his hips squared back up. And Songster's looking for a headlock, and this is kind of tight, and he's up. He's just kind of eased into that. Hurlburt now is locked up on the legs. We'll see if he can get himself rolled through the situation. Songster scoring points. He's got his 3-point near fall. Mr. Skiles is holding those. He hasn't awarded them yet. We'll see if Trey's just going to fight this or if he's going to try to roll through. And now Songster's off the legs. Now Trey tries to reverse his hips and it's a little late. Trey getting his hips flattened back out. And that's good guts by Hurlburt. He flattens back out and survives that situation. He's now got his hips up. And here comes the 3-point near fall for Songster. So it's now 5-1. North Platte Songster leading Hurlburt. Hurlburt again now has got the leg. He's got a cross face. He needs to get on his toes and move his hips around. He's not able to do that. He's got the leg trapped underneath. And now he might have Songster in a little trouble here. And he does. He gets Songster turned. Songster rolls through, but not until Trey scores 2 points. And now it's a 5-3 match with 15 seconds to go in the second period. Songster flattened out. There comes Hurlburt again with the right hand half. He's got the wrist underneath. He loses the wrist. Songster now flattened back out. And we're going to get out of this second period. And it's a 5-5 tie here. 5 apiece. That was a woolly second period with a lot of action.
Great comeback by Trey, too.
Yeah,
in that period.
He's been in that position a couple times in the match, just wasn't able to quite finish things off. That time he got things finished off and put Songster to his back. So here we go. Third period, 5-5. Songster goes to the bottom position. Trey mounts up. And we got a caution on Trey. Just a caution, no points. And here we go. Trey picks the ankle on the far side. Songster tries to get to his feet. Now there's Hurlburt flattening him back down. Songster does a good job of gathering his hips, tries to bring that leg up. Ankle pick again by Hurlburt. Songster posts that right hand on the mat, exposes that area on the arm where Hurlburt can get underneath with the half. We'll see if that situation comes up again. Posting your hand on the mat always elevates your elbows, and then you got trouble. Here's a cradle bow. He loses that. And there's a 2-point reversal for Songster, and he's back on that headlock situation. Now Trey's trying to roll him through if he can get his hips shifted, but Songster does a good job of hopping it over. Now if Trey can get his hips under him. It's 7-5 now. Songster leads, but he's got 3 points at least coming here as Hurlburt's trying to fight out of this headlock situation. And it's getting tighter and tighter. Those are tough slots to be in. And there it is, the fall. Carson Songster of North Platte, winner by fall over Trey Hurlburt of Broken Bow. And that'll give North Platte the lead 16-12.
All right, another short timeout. Next match coming up after this.
Appliance. When it comes to televisions, they carry Samsung TVs from 32 inches all the way up to 85. And of course, sporting a clear, precise picture. A TV would be a perfect gift to give someone on your list or yourself this year. Smart TVs allow you to watch high school sports, stream movies and shows, and watch local television all in one. Brent and his crew offer delivery and installation too, so you'll be up and running in no time. Call or stop in to Lyons Appliance in Broken Bow, one of the many stores locally that want to find what you're searching for this holiday season.
Back to North Platte.
It jumps out.
All right. We are back. Sorry about that. We are back on the mat. We are back on the mat. Cyrus Wells is out Broken Bow now. And to call the match for you as we move to the next weight class at 126, here's Kirk.
Okay, Cyrus Wells of Broken Bow. He's the junior. Won the Bow Invite. Hasn't lost yet this year. He's 5-0 on the season. Wrestling the freshman Ethan Jackson of North Platte. Broken Bow needs Cyrus here to get things turned around a little bit as they trail now 12-16 on the team scoreboard. There's Cyrus, comes around, scores his 2-point takedown. Good movement by Cyrus. Now laces in the right leg. So Cyrus with that crossbody ride leads 2-0 over North Platte's Ethan Jackson. Freshman has his hips up. Cyrus has the leg in. He's got that the right leg laced in. Now he's got Jackson flattened out. Cyrus can go to work here. Cyrus trying to dig in underneath, trying to get some elevation. Trying to turn with the hips, not able to do so. Jackson flattens back out. Wells digs those legs back in. A lot of pressure here, a lot of pressure through you. Wells doing a good job. He's got that push-up, he's got his back arched. Jackson gets himself straightened back out, gets the leg out. So we're at 32 seconds to go here in the first period. Wells again digging in, trying to dig in that leg, gets it in. Jackson holds his position. Jackson doing a good job of trying to stay square. A lot of pressure here by Cyrus. Cyrus with the 2-0 lead on the takedown. In good position here. And we're down to 10 seconds to go in the first period. There's the turn with the legs. See if Cyrus can get a score here as we dwindle down that first period. And there's the end of the first period. And our score remains at 2-0 based on the takedown by Wells. Cyrus is Wells' choice, and Cyrus immediately takes down. So he goes to the bottom position with that 2-0 lead. Dominating fashion in the first period there. We'll see what Jackson has for him on the top. Jackson mounts up on the right side. Wells sits out quickly, switches, comes around, gets the 2-point reversal. So quick 2 points there, extending the lead to 4-0. Wells again with that right leg laced in, cracks the hips. Flattens Jackson out. We're right in the middle of the mat, right under the spotlight. Jackson's got the arms out forward. Wells with a lot of pressure through the back, trying to come up underneath, trying to get some elevation here. And this really takes it out of your gas tank if you're Jackson underneath there. Pressure up, running him forward, Wells is. Cyrus not scoring here, but taking a lot out of the tank there. Jackson does a good job, gets his hips up, but Wells now with the left-hand half. He runs that half in. He's got a bar on the other side. Now he's just going to drive Jackson over. He's scoring back points. Wells drives Jackson over. He's got 2 earned. He's got 3 earned, and there's your fall. There's your fall for Broken Bow's Cyrus Wells in the second period. At the 3:01 mark, Cyrus Wells of Broken Bow wins at 126 pounds by fall.
So back and forth we go. Broken Bow back in the lead in the dual score. Next match coming up after this.
It jumps up and bites all of us at one time or another, but you simply cannot forget to get your septic tank pumped. Due to Plumbing wants to remind you to get it done at least every 2 years. Give Scott a call and get on the schedule so you can put the remembering part to him. 872-3402. Due to Plumbing is proud to support Central Nebraska wrestlers who are hard workers every time they take the mat. Enjoy the broadcast, brought to you in part by Due to Plumbing.
And Skeeter Campbell comes out next for Broken Bow to represent them at 132 pounds. And to call it, here's Kirk.
And Skeeter Campbell has a really tough draw here in this duel, 132 pounds. Jalen Ruffin representing the Bulldogs. He's the senior. Jalen was in the finals last year. He was second, fourth the year before. And he was 6th the year before that. So Jalen Ruffin looking to try to get himself to the state tournament later on in the year and pick up his 4th state medal. Hasn't won it yet, but he's been in the finals. Now, Skeeter Campbell, on the other hand, a senior. He hasn't been beat yet this year, and we've seen Skeeter really pick his wrestling up last year. He's one of those guys that had got a lot of experience last year. It was just a match away, I believe, from qualifying for the state tournament. So he's a game customer here. He's just got a tough draw, wrestling Ruffin. We're a minute into the match. We have no score on the bout. There, Ruffin trying to dig in that left hand. Skeeter trying to keep those elbows in, and he breaks free, able to do so. There's the shot, but nice job by Campbell, controlling the wrist. Ruffin not able to get in on the leg. Wrestler's right on the edge of that 10-foot circle. Campbell trying to control the arm. He's got the ball bat. Ruffin able to snap down, comes around. He hasn't scored yet. Campbell doing a good job of controlling hands. He's still on his feet, but there's the return. So Ruffin scores the first 2 points of the match at the 18-second mark left in the first period. Jalen Ruffin, he leads 2-0 over Broken Bow's Skylar Campbell. Campbell up to his feet, trying to score here as the period winds down. We'll see if he's able to. There's a big lift, a nice return by Ruffin. It's not easy to do, and that's especially against a quality wrestler like Broken Bow's Campbell. Ruffin doing a good job of returning him, and we're at the end of that first period. The choice is going to be Skeeter Campbell's, and Skeeter's going to take the neutral as Ruffin defers. So here we go, second period. Jalen Ruffin, the senior for North Platte, leading 2-0. Wrestling just underway here in the second period. Skeeter again trying to run a little ball bat, control that arm, trying to slow things down just a little bit. Ruffin doing a good job here. Snaps the head. Campbell comes back up to his feet. Wrestlers are tied up right in the middle of the 10-foot circle. Skeeter breaks free. Still in that 10-foot circle, right-hand tie by Ruffin. Again, Broken Bow's Skeeter Campbell working a 2-on-1 here, controlling the left arm of Ruffin. Ruffin trying to snap. Wrestlers tied up right in the middle of the mat. And there's a little slide by Ruffin, and wow, Jalen, really nice snap there. Slides it by, gets his 2-point takedown, and Ruffin now digs in the legs, and Skeeter's trying to hold his spot underneath. Broken Bow Skeeter Campbell trailing 4-0. 55 seconds to go in the second period. Cross face by Ruffin. Campbell again trying to keep those hips square. Ruffin has the leg in, trying to turn with the hips. Campbell trying not to go. Does a good job of squaring back up. Ruffin with the legs in. A lot of pressure forward. Skeeter not able to build up, but he's not been turned here. Trying to stay square, and we'll see if things stay this way or if we go to a stalemate, and there it is. There's your stalemate. So, not enough action there. Good call by Mr. Skiles. And it's a 4-0 lead. Skeeter Campbell of Broken Bow trailing. North Platte's Jalen Ruffin. Skeeter tries to crawl forward. Ruffin able to just ride out. Now Skeeter up to his feet, tries to turn in, and here goes Ruffin with that big lift, steps through. And nice job by Skeeter not to get turned there. Wow, that was a nice lift. Tried to step through like a Turk on a leg. Campbell able to square his hips up, so he's able to come out of it. And there's a roll through. Ruffin trying to pressure in on a power half. Campbell got his hips flipped through. Ruffin follows him out, and that ends the period. It's a 4-0 lead for Jalen Ruffin of North Platte, but Skylar Campbell representing himself quite well here. Jalen Ruffin going down with his 4-0 lead. Broken Bow's Skeeter Campbell ready to mount up. And here he goes. We're in that third and final period. Skeeter Campbell wrestling tough. He gets a little roll, a little lifter, and Ruffin scores the 1-point escape. So we'll see if Skeeter can get some offense here on his feet. Trailing 5-0 in the third period. Brent, this is one of those matches, though, we've talked about where you've got a really strong quality opponent. And, yeah, you want to win the match, but 5-0 is not all that bad to a guy that's been in state finals, team-wise. And here, Ruffin trying to crowd in, not quite able to get that. But that was a little more action out of Skeeter on his feet. We went out of bounds. And so we'll come back to the center of the mat. And Skeeter just needs to be active on his feet here. It's 1:25 to go in the match. Ruffin drops down to his right knee. Campbell backs off a little bit. And looks like we've got a little timeout here, as Ruffin must have hit his head, maybe in that flurry along the edge of the mat. So we're running injury time here. Mr. Skiles running the 1.5-minute injury time as they take a look at Jalen Ruffin.
Give us an opportunity to thank Fort County Heating and Air, helping us with our radio broadcast tonight. Owners Brian Hogg and Austin Cox serve the area with a combined 20 years of experience in the HVAC industry. They provide free estimates and 24-hour service. Make sure your heater is ready for the cold weather coming or the cold weather that's here. Call Fort County Heating and Air in Broken Bow, 872-2258. Well, they continue to look at Ruffin on the mat. And as they do that, we're going to step away for a short break. Injury timeout. Back with more wrestling coverage after this.
Results right now and in the future as well are both important. Who has the expertise needed to do that? Trotter Fertilizer. They have the best technology in the industry, and they'll put it to work for you, because every field is not the same. They can help your specific field so your yield becomes more profitable. Trotter Fertilizer looks forward to partnering with you. Proud to support the Broken Bow area wrestlers. Trotter Fertilizer.
Ruffin back up and wrestling again as he and Skeeter Campbell battle with a minute left to go in the final period. And to take you through the remaining seconds, once again, here's Kirk.
All right, Ruffin, Jalen Ruffin working a little front head action here. Skeeter Campbell trailing 5-0. And it's a stalemate call by Mr. Skiles, wanting a little more action. So here comes Skeeter back on the block, and Skeeter's going to have to stay busy on his feet. He's going to have a good shot. You got to be careful not to take a bad shot, especially on somebody like Ruffin. You'll pay the price for it, but Skeeter's going to have to be active here. Ruffin's the one with the 5-0 lead. And he's got to be careful in these ties. We've seen Ruffin work a little pass and score off of that. There, Skeeter breaks free. We've got 29 seconds to go. It's a 5-0 lead, keep in mind, for Ruffin of North Platte. Skeeter controls that far, the left arm of Ruffin, now trying to come up underneath. We're down to 15 seconds, back to the middle of the mat. Skeeter's going to have to try to get a little busier here if he wants to try to get a score. But he's controlling that arm. And Ruffin's just going to stay squared up out front. We're down to 3 seconds, and that's going to be your match. It's a 5-0 win for Jalen Ruffin, but wow, what a great effort by Skeeter Campbell against a really good opponent, Jalen Ruffin.
All right, so Ruffin gets the win by the 5-0 decision. We'll go to the next weight class after this.
May be known worldwide, but their roots are right here in central Nebraska, something they are very proud of. They hire right here in the heartland and know their success is due to those quality employees. As a way of showing support for the community, Sargent Irrigation sponsors high school sports broadcasts so those unable to attend can follow the action. Enjoy the broadcast, sponsored in part by Sargent Irrigation in Broken Bow.
So with the 5-0 decision win by Ruffin, North Platte now leads in the duel 19-18. We go to 138 pounds, and to call it, here's Kirk.
Broken Bow's Trey Gary at 138 pounds, wrestling Darren Diaz. Now, Trey's been to the state tournament for Broken Bows. He hasn't placed down there. Diaz, on the other hand, he has a championship 2 years ago. He was third last year, and he just picked up a takedown on Trey. Diaz very quick on his feet. Solid wrestler. There's the escape for Gary. So it's a 2-1 lead for Diaz. We've seen Darren Diaz in that state finals match. Last year, as I said, he was third. But that was quite a semifinals with those guys all being returning state champions in that Class A bracket. That was just crazy. And the guy that beat him, I think it was a 2-1 match, was Canopic from Millard South last year, who ended up winning the whole thing. There's a nice little shot by Gary. Gary tries to come in on the high crotch, not able to quite get it. Diaz now blocks off. He's pressuring down, has the head covered. Trey trying to control the elbow, not able to, and Diaz with that quickness comes around, scores his 2 points. So it's now a 4-1 lead. Whizzer by Gary on the edge of the mat, and the wrestlers go off. 4-1 lead, Darren Diaz, the senior for North Platte, leading Broken Bow's Trey Gary. Gary, the senior for Broken Bow. And it's a 1-point escape. Diaz just going to award that 1 point. We come up to our feet. So now it's a 4-2 score. 40 seconds to go here in this period. Just getting things started here at 138 pounds. Wrestlers tied up right in the middle of the mat. You can kind of hear the quiet here, just expecting something big here to happen. Gary with the right hand tie, breaks free. Diaz tries to control that wrist. Again, 4-2 lead, Darren Diaz of North Platte leading Broken Bow's Trey Gary. Two guys with a lot of state tournament experience. Diaz, a little physical on the head, trying to bang down, comes down on the leg, just keeps pressuring forward, walks in, gets his takedown, and he takes a 6-2 lead. And that was really nice. Stayed up on the head, give a little shake, drop down on the leg, and always moving forward. Looks like maybe Diaz got popped in the nose a little bit on that takedown. But he's going to be okay. Gary's set. 6-2 lead. 6 seconds to go here in the first period. 3 takedowns for Diaz. 2 escapes for Gary. And that's the end of the first period. Trey's going to defer. Diaz is going to go to the bottom position. So Trey now has his chance to be on top here in the period. First chance to be in this top position. 6-2 lead Diaz. North Platte leading Broken Bow's Trey Gary. Diaz quickly to his feet. There's the lift by Gary, but Diaz able to counter that with his leg. Comes out, moves his hips, comes on around, gets his 2-point reversal, and Diaz scores the reversal. And now it's 8-2 lead for Darren Diaz. And that quickness you can see working out here for him and Trey Gary trying to stay in that base underneath. Diaz working the far wrist, runs him forward, has a 2-on-1. Gary tries to protect that, trying to get that wrist peeled free. Gary with the hands, wrist out front. He's got his elbows wide though. Diaz controlling both wrists. Diaz flattened out on, Gary flattened out on his belly. Got his chest up there. Good job by Trey. Gets himself up to the base. Oh, Diaz working a little cheap tilt, rolling through. Gary able to roll on through. No points awarded there. Roll through situation right along the edge of the mat. And there we go off. Mr. Skiles will get him restarted. So an 8-2 lead, 59 seconds to go, second period. Trey Gary or Broken Bow in that bottom position, trailing by 6. Gary pressures back, tries to sit. Diaz able to counter. Diaz again trying to work that little cheap tilt roll through, able to get his hips through. Gary able to flatten. Diaz comes back around on top. As long as Diaz keeps control of the wrist underneath there, he's able to do what he wants to. Coming over with the hips, trying to get the tilt, not able to get that, able to come back up. He loses the wrist, he's got trouble. And right now, Gary's flattened down, trying to get back to his base. There's hips come up. Diaz running him forward a little bit now, back around back. 15 seconds to go in the second period. Again, Diaz runs Gary forward, flattens him out. We're down underneath that 10-second mark. Still an 8-2 lead, so Gary trailing here by a decision when you start thinking about the team score as we go into the third period. Gary's choice now, he's going to go to that bottom position. Trey's done a good job working hard underneath. Diaz mounts up. It's a 6-point spread here on an 8-2 score. Diaz leading. Again, that's that on the team score. That's a regular decision. That's 3. But now Diaz trying to work in that cradle. Gary flattens out, counters that. Does a good job of keeping his nose away from his knee. Gets his hips back up. Diaz again running forward. Gary trying to peel the hands. Flattens back out. Diaz looking for something underneath. Floating on those hips. Gary trying to get some hand control, and Diaz just holding his position. He's got the 8-2 lead, but you know that Darren Diaz he's looking for more than just that 8-2 lead. And there's a 1-point escape by Trey Gary, so we're up on our feet. Trey trailing by 5 now. It's an 8-3 lead, 1:17 to go here in the match. Wrestler's right in the middle of the mat. We'll see if Trey can get something going on his feet. Diaz has had his answers for the takedown position. We'll see if Trey can get a little more active. There's a shot by Trey in on the single. Trying to follow it up. Diaz does a good job of whizzing, turning the hip down. We'll see if Gary keeps pressuring in. We're right along the edge. Diaz trying to work in a little pancake action, but Gary does a great job of controlling the wrist, avoiding that, and avoiding the big smack by Diaz. So we're under a minute. 8-3 lead for Diaz. Wrestlers in the neutral. Trey Gary really done a nice job in this bout. Diaz's quickness has been a hard thing for him to for Gary to deal with during the bout, but that can be said a lot of times throughout the matches. All right, wrestlers facing each other. We're right along the edge of the 10. There's Reverse shot there, changes direction for Diaz, coming down in on that single leg, not able to get it, and Gary doing a good job of covering the head. He's got control of the elbow. It's 8-3. We're coming down to about 10 seconds to go in the bout. 8-3 lead for Diaz, but Gary's controlling the wrist, trying to get to the leg. Diaz hustles around back. It's now 10-3, but it's still a 7-point spread. So even though Gary loses the match, and you know he doesn't like that, but he's lost to a really strong opponent, and he saved his team points here.
Yeah, you think about North Platte with two of their top wrestlers, Ruffin and Diaz, only getting a total of 6 from both. As far as the dual score is concerned, Kirk, that may be looked at as a bit of a win for Broken Bow.
You bet, especially, I mean, when you're wrestling guys like that have been in the state finals, that have state championships, you know, North Platte in a normal duel, they're looking at scoring big points with those two guys. And they won the matches, but as we said, Broken Bow's kids hung in there and did a great job on their part. And now we'll see Connor Wells coming up here at 145 pounds. He is wrestling Ryan Fox, I believe, of North Platte. This bout just underway. Connor won the Broken Bow invite last week in an overtime match. Oh, and Fox gets his takedown here. So Ryan Fox, he's just a sophomore. This is a young North Platte team. He gets the takedown, and Connor's in his base position right along the edge of the mat. Spiral ride here, but the arm is trapped underneath. Fox doing a good job on top. So you got a pair of sophomores here. We've seen some really good wrestling out of some really young wrestlers for both teams tonight. As I said, a pair of sophomores here. Ryan Fox, North Platte with the 2-0 lead. Mr. Skiles going to get the wrestlers set again. And here comes Fox. He's mounted up, and here we go. 40 seconds into the bout. Connor tries to hop out, roll out. He gets his position, and there's a 1-point escape. So a little forward roll action there. Good job of shifting his hips, and Wells scores. Fox is really active with his hands. A lot of fakes. We'll see here how this turns out. There's a little drop down by Connor. Doesn't get his takedown. It's a 2-1. Connor drops down to both knees. He now comes up. Wrestler's right along the edge of the 10-foot circle. Wells breaks free. Gives a little hop. Comes down. Little feint shot. And there's straight on double. Doesn't really commit to it with his hips, though. Fox able to counter it. Fox now with the overhook. We'll see if he comes underneath. Tries to hit some type of fireman's or high crotch, but he breaks out of the position instead. Another feint shot by Connor Wells. Right foot lead by Wells. Tries that little feint sweep again. Just changing a level. Wrestler's right in the middle of the mat. There, little slide by Fox, not able to get it. Connor able to square up again. There, Connor changing levels. Feint shot, changing levels, comes in. Now has the right hand underhook. Drops down on the leg, and Fox does a good job of sprawling and countering, and that's the end of the first period. It's a 2-1 lead. Ryan Fox, the sophomore for North Platte, with the lead over the sophomore Connor Wells. Connor Wells' choice. Connor's going to go down. We'll see if he does that same move that he's been doing, a little forward roll, a little hip shift. Fox mounts up on the left side, and here we go. Switch over by Fox. He comes over to the right side now. Pressure in the head, and there comes Connor out. Rolls through, catches the leg, squares up, scores his 1. So Connor's done a good job with that move, and Ryan's not been able to cover the hips, not been able to cover the feet trying to counter that. Bottom line, it's tied up 2. 2 escapes for Wells in the match, 2-point takedown for Fox. And we're back in the neutral. There's the shot by Wells. He's down on the leg. He's got 2 hands on the leg, and he's locked up. But Fox has got a hip in his ear, and he's got Wells' leg underneath. We'll see if Fox is able to drive him over, and he does. And there's a 2-point takedown by Ryan Fox. And he's got Wells going to his back. Wells able to roll through the situation, trailing 4-2. And Ryan Fox now has that neck pinch going. He's got a spike in with the left hand. He now flattens out Wells. Connor trailing 4-2, 54 seconds to go, second period. Connor gets his hips up. Fox has got both wrists trapped and now tries to run a little lever with that, not able to do it. But he is aggressive. Ryan Fox is aggressive, and there's that little roll through again. This time Fox able to counter it. Wells comes up. Fox is riding the right side. Again, trying to trap the arm underneath, and Connor's coming up. Now he's to his feet. We're right along the edge, and we go out of bounds. 26 seconds to go here in the second period. Broken Bow's Connor Wells underneath. He's trailing 4-2. Needs to score here, at least get himself that 1 point. Fox will have choice in the third period there. Wells quickly to his feet. Fox sags him back to the mat. Wells up to his knees, 15 seconds there. Wells up to his feet again, trying to face out. Big lift by Fox. And he returns Wells to the mat. North Platte kids have really done a good job with their lift and mat returns tonight. Wells up to his feet again, trying to roll through, but Fox has been riding the right side. That time he covers the leg and he gets that stopped, and we end the second period. 4-2 lead, Ryan Fox of North Platte over Connor Wells of Broken Bow. So Fox's choice, and he's going to go neutral. So Connor Wells is going to have to get his takedown here. He's trailing by 2, 4-2 score. Wells trailing. Right in the middle of the mat, just underway here in the third period. And this is a big match as our team score is 22-18, North Platte leading. There's your shot by Wells. He's trying to step over and get that leg hook. Front quarter put on here by the Bulldog. And tries to come back around, but Wells Mr. Skyle scored the 2 and the 1, so it's a 2-point takedown and a 1-point escape by Wells. And now it's a 3-point spread. So that wasn't just a change of points, that was a loss of point in the exchange. 6-3 lead. Connor Wells is going to have to go here. 1:15, he's got plenty of time. And right now, Fox has kind of got his reverse mode going on. There, Wells drops down to a knee. Takes kind of a flail shot right along the edge. And Fox keeps his hips moving, keeps circling. You can see both coaches step out to the edge of the mat with some advice for their wrestler. And we're coming down to a minute. It's a 6-3 lead for Ryan Fox over Connor Wells. Broken Bow's Connor Wells now tying up. 55 seconds to go in the bout. Right along the edge. And Fox has got his back right along the edge of the mat, which is good position for him. If things get hairy, he's close to the edge of the mat. Now Connor's in on that single, but a lot of pressure put on with the front quarter by Fox. He steps over this situation. He scores 2. We'll see if Wells can come out of this. He's not able to, and it's now an 8-3 lead for Ryan Fox of North Platte. Fox with the leg laced in. Wells got his hips flat on the mat. 23 seconds to go. Connor Wells of Broken Bow trailing by decision here. Leg laced in for Fox, trying to launch across. Right now, he's just going to be happy to stay in the saddle, keep good position, and ride the period out as we go under 10 seconds. 8-3 lead. Ryan Fox leading Broken Bow's Connor Wells, and Connor just holding his spot, not able to come out from underneath. And Fox is going to take this 8-3 decision and add 3 more points to the North Platte team score, which will run it to 18-25, North Platte leading.
And we'll move to the next weight class. Next match coming up after this.
There's no reason to struggle with your shopping list, especially when you have a sports fan or athlete to shop for, and Geared for Sports is there for you. Right now, save 20% off sports equipment and 15% off regular priced apparel. Geared for Sports has Husker wear, fan gear, and a great selection of awesome Under Armour. Plus, with convenient hours, you can head in and shop when you have time. Monday to Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturday, 10 to 4, plus Sunday, noon to 4 through Christmas. Geared for Sports, west side of the square in Broken Bow.
So as we go to the next weight class, North Platte now leading in the duel 25-18. We'll move to the next weight class, which is 152. Jack Myers on the mat representing Broken Bow. And to call it again, here's Kirk.
We're just underway here in the bout. Jack's opponent, Santana Morin, right along the edge of the mat. Wrestlers go out of bounds. So we have no score. We're 18 seconds into the match. No score. Santana Morin, senior for North Platte. Jack Myers, Jack the sophomore for Broken Bow. And there's the takedown for Santana Morin. North Platte's shown that they're pretty tough on their feet here. Good quickness. Just done a good job on their feet. I've been really impressed with North Platte's mat returns. Broken Bow's been able to get to their feet off the bottom, but they just haven't been able to score out from under there in some of those bigger matches. And right now, Jack needs to score out from under. Morin steps across, laces in the right leg. Pulls it out now. Jack's got a chance to score. Morin's out front. He's still got position as he's snapping down the head. Jack trying to control that wrist. Morin now comes down on the leg. He's got a cradle hooked up. We'll see if Jack's able to get that cradle broke. Morin now. He's got a near side, puts his head in the ribs, and this is a tough spot for Myers. We'll see if Myers is able to get through this. We'll see if Jack can scoot his hips out. He's now in position. He can score here if he can get his hips out. Morin trying to drive him over. When Morin had his head in his ribs, he was really in a good spot. Morin drives him over. Jack trying to counter. Hasn't given up points yet. Staying in on that leg. We're at about 28 seconds to go. Cradle breaks. Good job by Jack in that spot and getting himself out of that cradle. Morin doesn't score any back points. We're down to 20 seconds. 2-0 lead for North Platte's Morin over Broken Bow's Jack Myers. Jack now trying to get some hand control underneath. Able to. We'll see if he can face out and get his one. He does. Nice job by Jack. 6 seconds to go in the period. 2-1 now. A lead for Morin, but a really good job by Jack Myers surviving the cradle. Came out, peeled hands, kept wrestling, got his 1-point escape right at the end of that first period. Jack Myers of Broken Bow trailing 2-1. Moving into the second period, Santana Morin goes to that bottom spot. His choice. Myers gets the signal from Mr. Skiles, and here we go. We're underway. Morin quickly to his feet. He peels hands, and he scores his 1-point escape. So now 3-1, 7 seconds into the second period. 3-1 lead for Morin of North Platte. Morin with the left hand tie. You can hear the North Platte match coaches yelling out to their wrestler to get offense, offense. Jack trying to come around. Morin's got an underhook here trying to control the elbow on the far side. Jack's got a right hand up and around the wrist, but he's really not doing much with it. We'll see, we're just kind of hanging out there. Here comes the whizzer on that wrist. That left hand over the elbow, or excuse me, over the armpit there. That's a whizzer trying to pressure down. Jack counters. Morin comes back around. Jack stays on the leg, now tries to double across. Nice job by Jack Myers. Comes around, steps the leg, and gets his 2-point takedown. Myers ties it up at 3-3, trying to work bow and arrow action. Really nice job there by Jack. Kept his feet alive, came on around, scored it, tied it. We're at 53 seconds to go in the period. Morin trying to sit out, gets his hips up. Jack now trying not to get stepped over, able to keep his hips up. Morin's got his head down. Now there, Morin gets his head up, trying to control the wrist, trying to do a little knee slide, get himself out from underneath. Jack does a good job of following and flattening. So good job here by Jack Myers. Jack's tied this match up at 3 apiece as we come down 25 seconds to go in the second period. Right leg post by Santana Morin. Trying to get himself out from underneath. Jack follows him up. Now Morin gets to his feet. Jack pulls him down. Morin sits out, doesn't come with the switch, goes over the back, and Jack does a good job of countering it. 5 seconds to go. Good period for Jack Myers as Jack has tied things up at 3 apiece, and that's the way the second period ends. Really good period for Jack Myers. Jack looks over and goes to that bottom position. So Jack's done a great job in the second period, tied the match up. He's going to go down, see if he can score off the bottom, get a lead here. Santana Morin of North Platte mounts up on the right side. There's the whistle, and we're underway. Morin coming around. Now hops back to the other side, trying to get that cradle hooked up. Jack's got hand control, steps out, keeps control of the hand, hasn't scored yet, but drops in on a single leg. Now Morin tries to power him over. Jack's trying to go on through the situation. Boy, that was close for both wrestlers. And Jack still being persistent on that single. Morin's got both hips on the mat. Jack's got to try to bring an arm out through, keep his pressure on, keep his feet alive, get off his knees. There he goes. Got his 2. Popped his head out, got his 2 points, and does a nice job because he's turked the leg. Can't see what he's got with his left hand. I think he's got the far arm there. Morin gets squared up again underneath. But Jack Myers stays persistent, doesn't panic. He leads 5-3 on the reversal. We're down to a minute to go in the match. This would be a great win for Jack Myers. Really done a nice job. Just stayed steady, stayed with position. Oh, here's a little roll. Little Turk finish, little Granby finish. Morin hasn't scored it. He hasn't scored the two, but there they come. There's the 2-point reversal. So Morin came out with a little Granby finish there. Jack did a good job of not giving up any back points. We're tied up at 5 apiece. 35 seconds to go in the match. Jack Myers up to his knees now. He's trying to peel hands. Morin trying to control that inside elbow. Jack's trying to do a little knee slide, trying to get up. He's got the elbow hook. Comes up, pops his feet. Morin catches the ankle. Jack now trying to slide out. Morin way high. Jack does a good job of shaking him off. Pulls the arm through. And if Myers can just stay there, what he's got to do is break the grip to get his 2-point reversal. Morin still has the cradle hooked up, but Jack could actually score a pin and not give up the reversal. There's the break of the wrist. There's the 2 points, and there's the horn, and there's the win for Jack Myers as he gets the 2-point reversal, breaks that grip right at the buzzer, and it's a 7-5 win for Jack Myers. Wow, what a great job by Jack.
That match was worth the price of admission, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness, that was a great match, and Jack just did a great job of staying with situations.
Another quick timeout. We're back with more wrestling after this.
Cafe in Broken Bow would love to host you in their party room. It's a great option with plenty of space for spreading out and following the guidelines in place. The staff at the Tumbleweed Cafe thanks you for continuing to come to them for delicious home-style cooking, especially during all that the year 2020 has brought us. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The Tumbleweed Cafe. Visit them on East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
And we have the next match out on the mat. Leighton Lindner, the sophomore, out to represent Broken Bow at 160 pounds. He goes up against Luke Rathjen, a junior of North Platte. And again to call it, here's Kirk.
Leighton Linder, as Brent said, representing Broken Bow here at 160 pounds. Rathjen of North Platte was a state qualifier last year for the Bulldogs. Didn't place, but was a state qualifier. Wrestlers right in the middle of the 10-foot circle. No score in this match. We're about 40 seconds in. There, Rathjen pressures forward. We go off the edge of the mat. So we'll get a restart with no score. We're at minute 18 of the first period. I'm still kind of zipping him after that Jack Myers match, I have to admit. That was just a great job by Jack. He just stayed with situations and didn't panic and won the match. So we have no score here in Leighton Linder's match at 160 pounds. Again, his opponent, Luke Rathjen. And again, we go out of bounds, but this time we'll get a warning for stalling on Leighton as he didn't circle out. Rathjen, he puts the pressure on you. He just keeps coming forward, as we said. Rathjen, a state qualifier for the Bulldogs last year. There's a single coming in. Takedown for Rathjen. He leads 2-0. Leighton now trying to work to get to his base. Rathjen has the wing in on the left side now, tries to trap the wrist on the far side, and he's going to try to run this situation. Leighton fighting underneath, gets out of that, but Rathjen able to come up and attack the head. Had a half, now reverses it. He's scoring back points here, 22 seconds to go. And Linder survives. It's a 5-0 lead, though, for Rathjen. Leighton does a good job fighting off his back. He's got to try to get himself to a base here. Try not to create those windows. Rathjen coming in underneath. And there again, Rathjen trying to run a little lever off the wing. Runs the head, and he's scoring back points again as we wind down this period. And there's three more points awarded. It's an 8-0 lead for Luke Rathjen of North Platte. This is a tough spot for Leighton Linder of Broken Bow, the sophomore. When we get started, Rathjen goes down and quickly comes to his feet, hits the switch from his feet, comes around, scores the 2-point It's a 10-0 lead now for Luke Rathjen. So you know North Platte looking for bonuses in this situation. Again, trying to run that lever, and now is trying to come in, trying to get that left-hand half. He does, and this is pretty tight. And there's the fall. Luke Rathjen of North Platte with the fall over Broken Bow's Leighton Linder at 160 pounds.
So with the win by fall, North Platte picks up 6 more points to add to their total in the duel as they go up now 31-21. We will keep it right here as we have our next match coming out to the mat right now, as the freshman Max Denson will come out to represent Broken Bow in the next weight class. Again, we want to remind you, if you're listening to us on radio, we are also streaming this for you live on our Facebook page at Sandhills Express, also on the website, sandhillsexpress.com, and you can also find the live streaming video on Twitter and YouTube as well.
And here we go at 170 pounds. North Platte's Cash Arnsdorf wrestling Max Denson. Arnsdorf suffered an injury last year. Denson able to come around, about had Arnsdorf on his back. Arnsdorf, a state medalist 2 years ago for North Platte. Arnsdorf scores the takedown. It's a 1-point escape for Max Denson. So a lot of fur flying here. And if you've watched Cash Arnsdorf wrestle over the years, he's an aggressive physical wrestler. So Max going to have to hang in here. He's doing a good job. The freshman, Broken Bow freshman, Max Denson, really doing a good job holding his own. And he's shown he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit. We're coming into a really big power play here for North Platte as they have Arnsdorf and Brower coming in here at these next 2 weights. So Broken Bow with Denson, Powers, and Duda. There's 18 points available if you get 3 falls. So Broken Bow trailing by 10 on the team score, but there are 18 points out there if you can get 3 falls. Be a tough way to go with all of these good wrestlers for both sides coming up, but you never know. There Arnsdorf pressuring in. Denson doing a good job keeping his balance, covering the head. We're under a minute, still a 2-1 lead for Arnsdorf. Denson trying to snap that head. He's got a little head control here. He's got that, nice job by Max as he comes off the head with the right hand, pressures in, covers with the left, drops down and ankle picks, but we go off the edge of the mat. Really nice job by Max Denson. So Cash Arnsdorf comes back to the center. We're on our feet, 2-1 lead for Arnsdorf. Denson really doing a great job. This has been a good first period for him. There's a big rush double. Now Arnsdorf comes in, tries to peek out. Denson trying to get his hips up, unable to do so. And there's the 2-point takedown for Arnsdorf. So he now leads 4-1. 24 seconds to go here in the first period. Max getting those hips up. A lot of pressure forward by Arnsdorf. Max trying to get his head up off the mat. Down to 10 seconds to go in the first period. Arnsdorf again has that inside wrist controlled. Max pods up. Arnsdorf sags him back down. We're going to end the first period with a 4-1 lead for Cash Arnsdorf of North Platte over Broken Bow's freshman Max Denson. Arnsdorf's going to take the bottom position. So he gets himself set. We're at the second period here. Max Denson trailing 4-1. Max comes up, mounts up, and we're underway. Arnsdorf tries to sit out, catches the wrist. Now we'll see if he tries to sit out, pop the head, not able to do so. There he comes out with the head. Creates some distance, brings his head up on the inside, comes back around, gets a reversal. It's 6-1 now. Cash Arnsdorf of North Platte leading Broken Bow's Max Denson. Denson flat on the mat. He doesn't want to stay there. Arnsdorf now trying to work in on the leg. He's got Max's far wrist trapped underneath. Denson now trying to flatten back out. Arnsdorf again trapping things underneath. Max does a good job, gets his hips up. Now trying to peel hands. Trying to wrist roll out, see if he can get that arm freed on the far side. And he does. So Denson up to his base. Tries to wing Arnsdorf down. Arnsdorf won't have any of that. Puts in the left hand, and so we got a high half here. Denson tries to wing that. Arnsdorf counters, flattens Denson back down. Denson now has his hips up. Arnsdorf stays on the wrist. Denson gets his head up, pods. Arnsdorf stays in control. Pressure again. And Arnsdorf, if you watch him wrestle on that top position, a lot of times he's not sitting on his knees. He's got his toes on the mat. He's got pressure forward. He's always putting pressure on his opponent. And there, Max sits out, gets his hips out. We'll see if he's able to face out. Arnsdorf tries to pancake. Whoa, there's the big throw off his feet. And he's picking up back points now. 29 seconds to go along the edge of the mat. Max does a good job of getting back to his base. 2 points awarded. It's now 8-1 in favor of the Bulldog. Right along the edge. So we go out of bounds. 8-1 lead, 17 seconds to go. Max Denson comes back to the middle. And Arnsdorf, he's a little slow coming back. Denson gets himself set. We'll see if Max can score here off the bottom in this last 17 seconds of the second period. It's a 7-point spread again, if you're thinking about team points. Facing out front, Arnsdorf's able to cover the head, hasn't given up any points. Denson trying to control underneath there, tries to peek around the side, and there Arnsdorf comes around. Has a little chance reaction here. He's got the chin underneath, got the left hand underhook, but that's the end of the period. 8-1. Max Denson's choice. We'll see what Max's choice there is in the third period as he trails by 7. He's going to go down. So Max looking to score off the bottom here. Trailing 8-1 to Cash Arnsdorf from North Platte. Caution on North Platte Bulldog Arnsdorf. Mr. Skiles gets everybody set. Arnsdorf mounts up, and here we go. Denson flattens out. He's got his hips flat. Gets his base back up. Arnsdorf puts in that left hand half. Max tries to wing it down, but Arnsdorf's able to counter that. Now we got a pod here. Sit out by Max. Just not able to put anything on the end of that. Arnsdorf follows him around. Has the wrist trapped underneath. He's got the near side arm caught underneath. Reaches across trying to get the wrist now. Max trying to work a little roll, not able to do that. And again, Arnsdorf with constant pressure on top. Runs Max forward a little bit here. We're trying to take a little out of Max's gas tank, I'd say. Has both wrists caught underneath. Max able to get his hips up, but that pressure forward's not allowed his head to come up. Not able to drive back, not able to get his chest up off the mat, able to get his hips up. But again, Arnsdorf with a lot of pressure forward. We just slipped under a minute to go in the match, and there's a warning by Mr. Skiles for Arnsdorf on the top as he's just riding those wrists, trying to kill the clock out. Arnsdorf takes a peek at the clock. It's an 8-1 score. We'll see if he wants to try to pick up the more points here, try to get a bonus out of this. There's the whistle. Max doesn't move off the whistle. Arnsdorf reaches down for the near ankle. Now Max comes up to his feet, trying to face out. Arnsdorf trying to step through the leg. Max got the reaching back here. He hasn't really got much, and Arnsdorf's covering the hips. We'll see if this ends up in a stale. It does. 36 seconds to go in the match. Both these wrestlers are starting to show just a little bit of tired as they've expended a lot of energy here. 36 seconds to go, 8-1 lead for Arnsdorf. And there we go. Caution again on Arnsdorf. So if we get another caution, that'll cost him a point. He's had his 2 cautions. He mounts back up. And there we go. Sit out by Denson. Denson faces, Arnsdorf covers. Denson's trying to get his hips out, trying to drag out Arnsdorf again. Up on those toes, forces in, comes around, and doesn't give up the point. So again, Arnsdorf riding tough again. Max trying to wing down. We're down to 15 seconds. Arnsdorf with that 8-1 lead. Tries to bring the hips forward. Again, a lot of pressure forward. Max Denson's going to go down here, but right now, by decision, and he's really given a pretty good account of himself as Arnsdorf, with that physicality of his wrestling, has won the match 8-1. It's a decision win for Arnsdorf over Denson of Broken Bow.
Well, we've got 2 matches left. We'll come back and bring them to you after this short timeout.
When it comes to televisions, they carry Samsung TVs from 32 inches all the way up to 85. And of course, sporting a clear, precise picture. A TV would be a perfect gift to give someone on your list or yourself this year. Smart TVs allow you to watch high school sports, stream movies and shows, and watch local television all in one. Brent and his crew offer delivery and installation too, so you'll be up and running in no time. Call or stop in to Lyons Appliance in Broken Bow, one of the many stores locally that want to find what you're searching for this holiday season.
So we move to 182 pounds. Caden Powers is out on the mat for Broken Bow. And to call the match for you, here's Kirk.
It's great to see Caden Powers wrestling again. And Caden in on a double leg on Gavin Brower, and he's able to finish it off, and he gets his 2-point takedown. And that's on a state champion, folks. Gavin Brower, the returning state champion. It looks like we've got a warning for stalling on Powers. So we come back. Brower gets set, stayed on the ankle too long. But Powers with the 2-0 lead. Brower trying to roll through on the Granby. Powers does a great job of following him out. Brower flattened down now. Powers trying to work a little head lever action, trying to get that inside arm controlled. Brower now protecting underneath. Gets his hips up. Posts his right hand out as Caden is working on that inside arm. And as I said, just great to see Caden back on the mat, wrestling again. He's had some tough time with injuries. There's a sit out by Brower, and he's able to get his hips out. And he comes around. Powers was in a little bit of trouble going to his back, survives that. But now it's a reversal, and Powers comes to his feet, gets the one escape. So Caden now with a 3-2 lead. There's a shot by Brower. He gets his 2-point takedown, so he'll take the lead in the match, 4-3. Again, Gavin Brower with 4-3 lead. Brower, state champion last year for the Bulldogs, has a cradle hooked up. He's got Caden in all kinds of trouble here, right along that 10-foot circle. Scoring back points. We'll see if Caden can come out. Good job by Caden. Kicks out of it. Comes right back into the situation. Brower drops in on the leg, though. A little over-aggressiveness there. 7-3 score, and there Gavin Brower puts Caden Powers away with the fall. 26 remaining in the first period. 6 points added to the team score for North Platte.
So we are ready for the final match of the night. Lathan Duda will come out for Bow at 195. His match next.
It jumps up and bites all of us at one time or another, but you simply cannot forget to get your septic tank pumped. Duda Plumbing wants to remind you to get it done at least every 2 years. Give Scott a call and get on the schedule so you can put the remembering part to him. 872-3402. Duda Plumbing is proud to support Central Nebraska wrestlers who are hard workers every time they take the mat. Enjoy the broadcast, brought to you in part by Duda Plumbing.
And we're back in on the matches here. Last match of the night. The duel has been determined. North Platte will win on the team score. Lathan Duda of Broken Bow, though, out on the mat. And his opponent, Vincent Genatone for North Platte. Now, I'm just talking to some people around here before. Genatone, a wrestler that wasn't at North Platte High School last year. I believe came in from Wyoming. And they say he is a tough customer. And right now, he kind of looks like a tough customer, no score. But we all know Lathan Duda, returning state champ for Broken Bow. He has 3 state medals in his pocket. Looking for a repeat this year, 4th state medal. So they expect this to be a good match. And so far, after a minute of wrestling, it has been. A lot of quickness on the mat, been some shots. Nobody's finished anything up. Wrestlers kind of feeling out each other. And it just kind of has the feel of a little big match.
Yeah.
Lathan down on that one knee, pawing a little bit of the head. Genatone just kind of stays square. Looks like Genatone comes down, counters. Man, that was nice. Comes down on the single leg. Duda's now able to get that leg down on the mat. Drops down, he counters. And there is some quick on quick there, folks. It's a 2-point takedown for Lathan Duda. Oh my goodness, there was some quick on quick there. Counter, 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 score. Both wrestlers doing a great job, but Duda getting the best of the situation. So we go back, 19 seconds to go, first period. Genatone is down, 2-0 lead for Broken Bow's Lathan Duda. Crowd goes quiet. Genatone quickly to his feet. Duda able to control the wrist, get the trip, and get him back to the mat. We go out of control, out of bounds, 15 seconds, and you can hear the North Platte coaches telling him get some hand control underneath. Duda doing a good job on top. He's got the 2-0 lead. Lathan mounts up with that lead. Genatone quickly to his feet. He's able to get to his feet quick. The Duda able to stay with him, brings him back, returns him right along the edge. Lathan has him flattened out and just looking to get the clock taken care of here. And we go on out of bounds with 2.6 seconds to go. So, Lathan Duda trying to finish the period on top with his 2-point lead. 2.6 seconds. Genatone's shown a good job of getting to his feet, but not being able to score from there. There's the whistle. There's the horn. So we've got one period of wrestling under our belt. And so far, things look like, as advertised, at least to us. Vincent Genatone looks like he is a worthy opponent with a lot of quicks. Duda going to take that bottom position. And if I sound like I'm talking with a big smile on my face, I am. This is a fun match to watch. So Duda now. He took that down position. Genatone trying to control that inside arm. Pressure forward. He's got that wrist trap. Now he kind of hustles back, around back. Duda now just kind of sitting underneath. There he explodes out, gets his 1-point escape, quickly bails back in, tries to hook the leg and come in on a double. That was a nice little action there by Lathan. Genatone able to cover the head. We're right along the edge of the mat. Duda now staying on that leg. And it's a stalemate out of bounds. We're going to come back. We're going to be neutral, and we're going to have a 3-0 lead for Lathan Duda. Minute 23 to go in the second period. These two guys have really been able to counter each other. Duda able to get the better of it so far. So here we go. Wrestlers right along the edge of that 10-foot. There's straight on shot by Genatone. Duda able to fend it off, get the whizzer in. Genatone able to see where he's at on the mat, trying to keep the toes in. Just kind of a bull rush shot there. Posted, bull rushed up underneath. So we're at a minute 5 to go, second period, 3-0 lead, Lathan Duda. Duda now, the wrestlers break apart. Duda stalks a little bit, Genatone just kind of moving. A little more of a square stance out of Genatone. Either wrestler with a real shot there, both of them end up on their knees. Duda now down on the right knee, comes back up. Collar ties. Duda now ties up the arms. Wrestlers face to face. Genatone able to get out of that now. Watch the slide by here. Genatone working that left hand in, but Duda's doing a good job with his left hand controlling the wrist of Genatone. Genatone trying to come up on the body, and Duda just controls that wrist. Now the wrestlers break apart. 22 seconds to go in this period. 3-0 lead by Duda. Duda's the guy with the lead here. He doesn't have to get crazy. Good position. There's that straight-on shot. And I just don't think that straight-on shot's going to do it. Nice job. Nice counter. Good job by Duda. He reaches across, blocks the ankle, comes across, forces his hips through, gets the 2-point takedown. 5-0. And that straight-on shot by Genatone, just not enough angle created there to get that takedown, especially with Duda and his countering. So we're going to go back to a neutral position. So now it's a 5-0 lead for Duda. We'll see if Genatone changes this, thinks about trying to pick up all 5 all at once. So here we go. Wrestlers kind of measuring each other. Little fake shot by Genatone. Duda able to fend that off. Duda with his own little shot. Genatone sprawls. Pops back up to his feet. Wrestlers again facing each other. Duda with that little bounce. If you've seen him wrestle when the wrestlers break apart. Little shuffle, little bounce. Again, that straight-on shot, no angle created, and Duda is able to fend that off, and he's been able to counter out of it and score. Collar tie by Duda. Wrestlers break apart. Minute 15 to go in the match. There's a big shot by Duda down on the single leg. Really low, nice level change. Got in, got his 2-point takedown. What made that shot go wasn't the penetration and the level change. Man, that shot was down below the knee. Really nice shot. But again, a little bit of an angle created. And Duda with some good quickness able to extend his lead to 7-0. Vincent Genatone, though, has been a worthy opponent. He's done some good jobs. He just hasn't been able to have an answer for some of those scrambles. Dude has been able to come out of all the scrambles with his points. And that last shot really showed a nice level change by a bigger guy. So here we go. Genatone up to his feet. Duda returns him, reaching back, trying to square up the hips, but Duda just able to keep his hips in. Now Lathan's got that leg in. He's got a deep right knee, really not a cross body, but he's got that right knee in deep. A lot of pressure here. Genatone's controlling the wrist, but with 30 seconds to go in the 7-point lead for Duda, that controlling that wrist probably isn't going to be anything that he's going to be able to do anything with. Lathan has such good hips, such good position. 25 seconds here. 7-0 lead for Lathan. And there we go. Genatone trying to come to his feet. Not able to do so. Duda catches the inside arm, returns him, and now Lathan's got the wing in, trying to get the wrist on the far side. 15 seconds to go, and we'll see if Lathan's thinking about scoring some backs here. He's now got a hip lever. Mr. Skiles stops that. Potentially dangerous. Oh, we called it an illegal hold. Duda's left hand on the wing came up on the shoulder. So he called an illegal hold there. Genatone scores his 1-point escape. 7-2 as we finish out the bout. It's going to be a decision win for Lathan Duda. And a really good match, and Lathan did a lot of good things. You'd see him shaking his head a little bit, but he did a lot of good things in that match, and it was a good match for him.
So Lathan Duda wins the match at 195, but North Platte's going to win the duel by a final score of 40-24. We'll come back and recap the matches and the results after these words on KBBN Radio.
Bank. If there's anything that 2020 has taught us, it's that we should be thankful for the simple things in life. A safe home, a healthy family, and the support of a caring community. I urge you all to take a minute to think about the good things in your life and to start 2021 off with a grateful mindset. On behalf of the entire Nebraska State Bank family, we wish you and your loved ones a very happy holiday season. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC.
If you're having a party or celebration, you need food and drink for your guests. Come and see us at the grocery cart. We're ready to help at the deli and the GK Wine and Spirits. In the deli, you can't beat delicious Chester's chicken or order a meat and cheese tray. You can't beat the convenience of a smoked rack of pork ribs either. Then stop by the GK Wine and Spirits for savings on your favorite beers, wines, or spirits. For any get-together, stop at the deli and the GK Wine and Spirits shop inside the grocery cart in Broken Bow.
At Trotter Service, every oil change comes with a multi-point inspection. As a Tire Pro store, they bring customers only the best brands of wheels and tires at the best prices anywhere, and have computer balancing and alignment too. They service semis and provide bulk fuel and propane delivery as well. At Trotter Service, your hometown automotive repair and tire store.
Friendly service every time. Quality is what you'll find where your neighbors and your friends go see Trotter.
Many traditional lenders often avoid financing business startups, business ownership transactions, and blue sky transactions. Not Custer Federal State Bank. They use programs to help meet these undeserved lending areas. Their preferred lender process even reduces submitted documents to the government agency, Farm Service Agency, small business, and rural development loans. Custer Federal State Bank can help with them all. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All loans are subject to credit approval. One thing we definitely desire perfection on is our vehicles. You want something that gets you to where you're going comfortably while looking great. Whether storm damage, deer damage, or insurance claim, take your ride to Rod's Body and Paint Broken Bow. They're the collision specialist. You should call 308-872-5346. Offering over 42 years of experience, they'll get you back on the road quickly without sacrificing quality. From dings and dents to full replacement and auto glass repair. Rod's Body and Paint, West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
The changing seasons are generally welcomed with open arms, but not in our homes. With the help of Mead Lumber, you can keep the chilly air where it belongs. Upgrading your home's insulation not only conserves energy and lowers your heating and cooling costs, It makes for better living with improved air quality, health, and warmth. Work with those who have pride in a highly trained team to help with your building and projects. The crew at Mead Lumber. Also, be sure to visit meadlumber.com soon.
And we bring you back to North Platte High School. They're wrestling off a few reserve matches now before we conclude the night completely here at North Platte High School. But the varsity duel has come to a conclusion. North Platte's going to win the duel by a final score of 40-24. Some great matches as we anticipated coming in. If you're tuning in late, let's recap the action from tonight. We started at 220 pounds, where Mason Newland of North Platte won by fall over Kiefer Anderson of Broken Bow, and that put North Platte up 6-0 in the duel. 285 pounds, Tyler Thomas was able to win by fall over Jacob Kohler of North Platte, and that tied the duel up. Then Chauncey Watson of Broken Bow came out at 106. He was unopposed, so he got the forfeit, and Broken Bow picked up 6 points. At 113 pounds, major decision win for Jace Kennel of North Platte, winning by major decision 11-2 over Wilson Zinn of Broken Bow at 113 pounds. Moving to 120, Carson Songster of North Platte was able to win by fall over Trey Holbert of Broken Bow, who moved up from 113 to wrestle at 120 for Broken Bow and fill the weight class, but Songster able to get the win for North Platte. At 126 pounds, Cyrus Wells won by fall over Ethan Jackson of North Platte, so Cyrus gets the win at 126. Jalen Ruffin of North Platte, 132 pounds, won by a 5-0 decision over Skeeter Campbell at 132 to pick up 3 points for North Platte in the duel. And then at 138, Darian Diaz came out, won by a 10-3 decision over Trey Gary at 138 to pick up more points for North Platte in the duel. At 145 pounds, Ryan Fox of North Platte able to win by an 8-3 decision over Connor Wells. That was at 145. 152 pounds, maybe one of the most exciting matches of the night. Jack Myers, a big win for Broken Bow, winning by a 7-5 decision at 152, winning over Santana Morin at 152. 160 pounds, it was Luke Rathjen of North Platte winning by fall over Leighton Lindner at 160. And then as we move to 170, Cash Arnsdorf of North Platte, an 8-1 decision win over Max Denson of Broken Bow at 170. Then in the final two matches of the night, Gavin Brower of North Platte was able to win by fall over Caden Powers at 182. And then in the final match of the night, Lathan Duda able to win over Vincent Genatone of North Platte by a 7-2 decision. So that's a recap of the matches that we had in the varsity duel tonight, as North Platte's going to end up winning the duel by a final score of 40-24. We'll take one final timeout, come back, get Coach Crowley's final comments of the night, as we'll conclude things after these words on KBBN Radio.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Shelter Insurance's auto rates are falling. See Agent Brent Custer for details.
A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping is proud of their over 25 years of dedicated service, and they look forward to having the opportunity to serve you with experienced, reliable service. Have some pesky cedar trees? They do removal. Of course, remember them when the weather warms up, because a passion for landscaping runs in their veins. Rock beds, boulders, retaining walls, leveling, and more. A to Z Lawn Pro and Landscaping is proud to support the athletes of Central Nebraska by sponsoring this broadcast.
Septic emergencies are right up there on the list of worst emergencies to have.
Absolutely.
The next time you're facing one, give Squire's Septic Service a call. 870-0717. He's ready to take your call 24 hours a day.
Absolutely.
His sewer camera can find problems fast to save you money. Plus, he can clear drains with Roto-Rooter or Jetter. Oh, and Gary has Porta units too. Squire's Septic Service of Myrna. 870-0717. Don't wait to call until it's too late.
Absolutely not.
Are prairie dogs wreaking havoc in your pastures? Then get rid of them with Rosol from Arrow Seed. Rosol is a restricted use pesticide approved for use on prairie dogs by licensed pesticide applicators between October 1st and March 15th. Rosal is an easy-to-use bait that provides excellent acceptance, has superior weatherability, and proven reliability. Protect your livestock and your land by putting an end to prairie dog damage with Rosal. To learn more about Rosal, call Arrowseed in Broken Bow or visit arrowseed.com today.
Are you having a hard time getting moving after your surgery? Call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. If you have recently undergone surgery to your knee, hip, shoulder, back, or wrist, or having trouble doing the things you love, call Team Physical Therapy 872-5111. With our highly trained staff in orthopedic rehabilitation, we are committed to getting you moving again. Call us at any of our locations close to you or check us out at myteampt.com, 872-5111.
Friendly rivals, hometown pride, wearing your school's colors. Small towns are brought together cheering on their favorite teams. Agland ATV knows how hard the athletes and coaches work year-round and are proud to help sponsor the games of our customers and their kids and grandkids. We have built relationships with many of these families through the years and are proud of their success. Best of luck to all the local athletes from Agland ATV in Broken Bow.
872-3424.
Agland ATV, West Highway 2, Broken Bow, 872-3424.
And we come back to wrap it up now for our broadcast from here at North Platte High School. Good duel between the number 3 ranked team in Class A, the number 4 ranked team in Class B. North Platte able to win the duel tonight, Kirk, over Broken Bow. 40-24 is the final. Some things that kind of stuck out to you as we called the matches tonight.
Well, first of all, just the quality of wrestling that we saw. And, I mean, we're only in the second week of the season by both teams. I was really impressed by the way the kids really competed and got after each other. And you kind of expect that when you look through their lineups and see the kids that they're putting out on the mat with the state tournament experience and so on. But the younger kids, there are a lot of young kids in this duel tonight, and they came through for both teams. You didn't see kids giving things up. Shape really didn't seem to be a big problem for people. Just really a fun duel to watch. Now, Broken Bow is probably going to come away and say, well, we could have, you do that every duel, especially old coach side. We could have done this. We could have. And yeah, you had some chances, don't get pinned, get a pin. That's 12-point flip-flop. But the bottom line is, in most cases, you wrestled pretty tough, I thought. You mentioned Jack Myers. That match was just so much fun to watch. And it was really fun because he had several situations. He just stayed calm and got himself through those. North Platte comes at you in a couple of waves. I thought that Broken Bow did a good job at 132 with Campbell, even though he got beat by Ruffin, and at 38, Trey Gary getting beat there by Darian Diaz. But considering those guys, our kids really did a good job, Broken Bow did. Then they come at you in that other wave at 60, 70, and 82 with Rathjen, Arnsdorf, and Brower, and they kind of got after us there.
That's kind of where they separated really a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, and if you look at some of those matches and inexperience versus state tournament experience, the matchup wasn't in Broken Bow's favor there, and that happens in duels. But overall, I thought the Broken Bow kids really competed well.
I think something that's worth mentioning is the way things have changed this year in the format of wrestling in regards to the COVID-19 situation, and that is the addition of a sub-district tournament. So you'll have sub-districts where then the top 4 wrestlers will advance out into the district finals. So the districts basically have been split in half for, B, C, and D, and then you'll have the big district tournament after sub-districts. But the one thing about the sub-district tournament, Kirk, what it does is it takes away the weekend that you would have wrestled state duels. And I watched these two teams tonight. I feel for them that there won't be a state duel tournament because I think you're looking at two pretty good duel teams in their respective class.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both deep, and they've got young kids that compete well, and they can cover their bases at all the weights. North Platte didn't have a 6-pounder tonight, but they have one on their roster. I can understand, though, I mean, as long as we can keep things going and keep kids going, you understand the reasoning behind it, but you hate losing those state duels, especially these two teams in the positions that they're at.
Yeah. Some more good competition for Broken Bow this weekend. The Holdridge Invite, they'll be looking at some Class B teams there. Some good competition, again, that Broken Bow will be facing on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to right now. I mean, you want to win as much as you can, but comes down to banging heads with good competition, and at Holdridge they'll see some bigger schools than what they saw at the Broken Bow Invite. And I don't know exactly because some people's schedules have changed, but some of the teams out of Lincoln have been freed up to be able to compete now. I believe they weren't able to compete last week in that county. So, Broken Bow, they should be able to, if they wrestle like they did today, they'll be able to go down there, compete tough, and do some really good things.
Well, are you buying dinner